How I got started in group fitness is a long story. I'd been a personal trainer for about 6 months, and I was teaching a boot camp out on our tennis courts when the group fitness director and the general manager approached me about going through group power training. I had never heard of group power before, and they explained it was a strength-based group fitness program. And they were asking me because I was a personal trainer, I was always at the gym, I was talking to a lot of members, and I was already teaching a group style format in my boot camp, and they said I would be a natural at the program. Unfortunately, the only thing I heard was group fitness. And I knew what group fitness was because I had seen videos from the 80s and the 90s, the Olivia Newton-John stuff where people went into a room and they were dancing and clapping and spinning around and everybody was wearing spandex and unitards. And I knew group fitness in our club was held in the room that had all of the mirrors, and it had step, dance, and aerobics and neon lights over the stage. And it was where all of the ladies went to work out. And I knew they would never get me in that room for anything. It was a few months later that a friend of mine who was a personal trainer and a group power instructor invited me in to take a couple of her classes because I just never got active with group fitness. And she said if I went in and took her class a couple of times, she would promote me to all of the people in her class for personal training. I went in and I knew at the beginning of the class exactly what my experience was going to be. I knew that I would be the only guy. I knew that it was going to be a super easy workout. I wasn't going to work at all. And that I would feel goofy and uncoordinated because everybody was going to be dancing around. And after the class, I was amazed that none of what I thought was going to happen actually happened. First off, when I went in the class, there were already guys in there. I think there might have been like 5 or 6 guys out of a whole room of like 40 women. But still, that was way more than I thought it would be. Um, Also, it was a much more athletic workout than I was expecting. I mean, it was squats, chest press, push-ups, bicep curls. Um, and I knew all those things, and I was a personal trainer, and I understood all of them. And the workout was much harder than I thought it was going to be. She actually put a big and a medium wheel on each side of her bar for the biceps track. And I remember looking at her and saying, I'm twice as big, I'm twice as strong, I can do twice as much weight. And that did not work out well for me at all. I actually made it about 30 seconds into the bicep track before my arms were just shot. So after that class, I realized that group fitness was not just for women. It wasn't all dancy. It could be very athletic. And that experience is what got me thinking I wanted to teach group fitness, and it was something I could actually do and something that I could actually achieve. So I talked to our group fitness director again and actually signed up to do 3 different trainings. I did group step, group kick, and group power all within about a year, and began teaching a lot of group fitness classes at our facility. And one of the cool things I noticed is I'd been teaching for about a year and I was taking other people's classes at the same time. And I noticed that in my classes and actually in the other male instructors class that we actually had more men taking our classes than were taking any of the other group fitness classes. And when we asked a couple of the men who were coming in, the reason they gave was, well, I came here because I've never seen a male teach group fitness before, so I thought I would come in and try it. And that was a really cool thing, and we really sought out new male instructors from our current participants. And specifically what we looked for were not necessarily the fittest people, but we were looking for athletic people that could move along with the music and that had coordination, but also the people who were really extroverted, the people who went out, and the people who were talking to other members in the class, the people who were already dragging their friends and their family and people off of the weight floor in to take different classes. And it actually wound up to work out very well for our group fitness program. Over the course of years, our group fitness program grew rapidly, and we had a very strong male participation, in part because we had a very strong male instructor staff. At one point, I think there were 10 group power instructors, and 6 of them were men. We had, I think, 8 group step instructors, and 4 or 5 of them were men at one time. The same thing with group ride. You know, we had 5 or 6 group ride instructors, and 3 of them were male. So we wound up having a large male participation inside of all of our group fitness classes. Maybe 30 to 35% of the people who were actually in the room in any given class were men. And that carried over into all of the other classes. There were more men not only in the classes that men taught, but there were men going into classes that the other athletic female instructors were teaching because they'd already experienced it with men. So, that's it.